Hello and welcome. We are here at Elegantly Raw today, and do we have a treat for you? Yes, here it is, a raw pecan pie. Welcome to Elegantly Raw. Take it away, Rio. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Rio, for being here.
today I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous celestial pecan pie. We're going to start with a base of bananas and other fruit. So the first thing I'm going to do is peel some bananas. And I'm going to peel them on the kind of like oblong shape.
Is that a ceramic knife that you're using, Rio?
Yes, it is.
Wonderful. Could you please explain to the audience why a ceramic knife?
Well, it doesn't oxidize as much as other knives do. And so it's good to use for, especially for greens.
Yeah, it doesn't oxidize at all, and it's excellent for for avocados, apples. You will not see that brown mark again afterwards. It also
Right.
doesn't change. It also does not change the energy of the food. Now, Rio, explain what you're doing, please.
So I'm building the pie. Now, how I got the idea for this pie was most raw food pies. Oh, and I'm going to, since we are on a time schedule, I did peel these before. I did slice these before, and so they wouldn't lose, so it wouldn't get dark. I put some lemon juice on it. So I'm going to use this to continue. So, what was I saying?
You were talking about how you came to make this pie because most
Oh,
raw
that's
food.
right. So most raw food pies have the base as um, with nuts and some dried fruit that is blended together, and that makes like a crust. So one day I was just, trying to make a new recipe, and I said, what if we reverse that and put the fruit as the crust and put the nuts on top? And so that's how I got the idea for this recipe. So
Which
I'm just laying the banana, one layer of banana here, and then in the middle I'm going to come back with some fruit, some other fruit, and you can use any fruit that you like. You can use mango. I love mango, but I couldn't find any mango in the market that I really like. And or you could use papaya, you could use blueberry, and today I'm going to use strawberries.
Rio, about how many bananas approximately did you use for this?
5 bananas.
Medium sized?
Yeah. So
That
once I do the base here, then I'm going to come back and put the make like a little layer on the side.
it's wonderful that you're using a ceramic knife because you if actually with a ceramic knife one doesn't even have to put any lemon juice on it or lime juice on it because it's
Really, I didn't know. I thought
yeah.
I've never done it in advance like this before, so I figured maybe maybe I could just to safeguard it, make sure it was not going to be dark.
Yeah, that's the beauty about a ceramic knife. One has to be careful when purchasing ceramic knives because now in the only ones that I purchase are from Japan because now in the US a lot of people realize that people are wanting ceramic knives and what they're doing is coating steel knives with ceramic. over it. And so that won't do the trick.
Really? I didn't
Yes. So,
hear that. Okay,
yeah,
so
unfortunately.
this is our base. And now what we're going to do is we're going
Can
to,
you hold, Ria, when you hold it up, can you just hold it a little longer for us, please?
there's the base.
Perfect.
There's the
Thank
base.
you so
So
much.
now the next layer is going to be fruit, and I'm going to use strawberries. Look at these luscious strawberries here.
Yum.
Okay. So
So one of the things that I would like people to understand and to know is that with a raw pecan pie, you can either prepare it the day off or even the day before or 2 days before.
yes, you can. Yes, that's true. This pie keeps for about 3 days, I would say.
But I don't think it will
And
keep because once people taste it,
oh, that's
that'll be
right.
the end.
It won't keep. So then I'm gonna. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. So then I'm gonna come back and I'm going to put a layer of strawberry.
So this would be perfect for fruitarians.
For fruitarians, yes, yes, definitely. And because we're on a time schedule, I
We have time, don't
I
worry, we have
I
time.
peeled. I mean, I sliced some strawberries so that I'd make sure I'd have it.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. That
Welcome.
looks beautiful. That looks so stunning.
Thank you.
Nature is so beautiful. Nature, just the beauty in nature far surpasses anything that we humans could possibly imagine or do ourselves.
Yes, and that's why it's so distressing that we're destroying nature.
All in the
But
name of profit.
exactly, like the problem with the bees. If we don't have bees, we're going to lose like 60% of our crops.
Exactly. That we know about, maybe even more, who knows? So this is stunning. This is just one of the most beautiful photos or images I've ever seen.
Well,
And this is
thank
just
you.
bananas and
Thank
berries.
you. Okay. So that's the second layer, strawberries. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the banana, put another banana layer in.
Children would love this.
Oh, children have actually, I had this child that his name was Xander, and his grandmother, he was living with his grandmother. Him and his sister were living with their grandmother. And they sent me an image, two images of them making the pie. Little kids. I mean, he was like
Wow.
7. Now he's probably around 17. I would love to see him again.
Rio, did the children make this themselves?
They made it themselves under the supervision of the grandmother, of course.
That's incredible. And that's what I love about these raw pies and foods that you can actually, if you cut it ahead of time for the children, they can assemble everything by themselves.
Exactly. And
So
it was, I mean, it was a beautiful picture.
it's a family, it's a way to bring families together, and it's a family project to get families back into the kitchen. You know, Kathy from Kathy's Prescription Kitchen and I have gotten together. We are going to be working on changing the culture around food because the culture around food now is to order out, order in, and eat out and not be in the kitchen. But can you imagine a child teaching a child to do this? And this allows them to get in touch with the food supply and therefore will completely give them an opportunity to have an intimate relationship with their food. And you,
Definitely.
Rio,
And actually, now with the lockdowns and the situation that's happening now, more people are making food at home. So this is perfect. So that's the second layer. No, that's the third layer. That's the third layer of the fruit crust. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my hands and I'm going to just press it down just a little bit. Just press it down. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make a cream, um, uh, a pecan cream to put over the top of this.
So for people in the depth of winter who wish to make this, they could actually substitute apples and pears.
They
Which
could. They
are usually
definitely could. Yes. So I'm using 1 cup of pecans, and as you can see, I've soaked them in filtered water. So I'm going to put the pecans into the blender.
I like the color of your blender, Rio.
Oh, thank you. Actually, my blender died. This is my son's blender. He loaned it to me.
It's an old Vitamix.
So, okay, so 1 cup of pecans. Then here I've soaked, well, let me show you the dates that go into it. That's to sweeten it. Those are the dates. And I've soaked the dates in filtered water also. So I'm going to put about 10 dates in here. Whoops. Then I'm going to put about 6 ounces of filtered water. And I see I don't have my measuring cup, but that's okay. I'll kind of eyeball it. Okay. And this, can't forget this. You know what this is?
Oh, the
This is
vanilla
so beautiful.
bean. Oh,
Smell-o-vision.
yes,
So
yes, yes.
So we're going to
Pure
take 1/2 of a vanilla bean and we're going to cut it up. And again, I have done it in advance because I didn't know how much time. So it's all cut up. I'm going to put that in. And let's see. What else goes in here? I think I've got everything. And I'm going to blend it to a cream. I'm going to put a drop more water.
So, Rio, when I'm doing this, I use coconut water in the.
Oh, yes, that would be good. Okay, so then I think it's blended enough. So go back to the pie and we're going to put this pecan cream on top.
Yum. Yum, yum, yum.
So see, we have a fruit crust and then the whole top is pecans.
So while you're
cream and then the pecans.
So while you're spreading that, I just want people to remember that what we're doing today is we're doing a pecan pie, a raw pecan pie. And here we have the beautiful pecans, raw pecans, which Rio has soaked. And I'm going to just, while you're doing that, I'm going to just read some comments. Tina Walker says, hi. Steve Rock and Roll Wood says, I live alone. How long will that keep? Should I soak all the fruit with lemon juice to keep it from spoiling? Steve, only if you don't have a ceramic knife.
I would still put a little lemon juice in it, just, you know, it doesn't hurt.
And lemons add so much to it and makes it even more alkaline. Nikki says, missed it. What's on the bottom, onto the first layer? Just bananas and then another layer of strawberries, and then another layer of bananas.
Okay, so here is now this we're going to put into the dehydrator for 3 hours. So I already made one before, and so I'm going to switch. I'm going to put this one in the dehydrator and take the other one out.
Perfect. While you're doing that, Nikki says, and what's on the bananas? Cinnamon? No, no, not at all. The bananas, vanilla.
Oh,
Yes.
on the bananas, no, in the cream is vanilla bean in the cream.
Yes, and now this is the product after it's been taken out of the dehydrator.
Right. That's how it comes in the dehydrator. So now I have these pecans that are dry. I didn't soak these pecans, they're dry. And I'm going to I'm going to make a little, kind of a little sauce to put on the pecans just with honey and coconut aminos. So here's the honey. It says extra raw honey. I don't know what makes it extra raw. Raw is raw. But this is local honey from around the area.
So for the vegans watching
now for vegans, I guess they could use agave if they wanted to,
or maple syrup.
Or maple syrup.
Yeah. Now, Steve Rock and Roll Wood said, "I don't have a dehydrator. Is there an alternative method?"
You might just make it without dehydrating it. Just do it without dehydrating it. I just dehydrate it because it intensifies the flavors a little bit.
Yes, yes. And Steve says, typical raw food pecan pie starts with a crushed nut base, but this one doesn't. Correct. Very correct. Steve also says, honey, is it vegan?
No, honey's not vegan. It's my one exception. I'm vegan except for honey products. And also, I believe that we really need the beekeepers now, because the situation with the bees is so intensely dangerous. We're losing bees. So as long as a beekeeper does the right thing by their bees, I'm for it. And actually, I've tried to keep bees. I lost them last year. It was so cold. But now what I'm going to do is I made a place for them in the garage, because what I'm doing now is I'm just blending the honey with water, and I'm going to put a little coconut aminos in, just to give it like a sweet, sour or tart taste, or salty, sweet salty. So I was trying to I was trying to do the bees, but I'm a novice at it, and so I did lose them. But then I went to a conference at another farm, and while the farmer was doing the conference, I would see that his bees were going up into his barn, and I thought, well, let me ask him what's that all about. So he said he put the bees boxes in the barn, and he left the window open a little bit, and that keeps them from freezing in the winter. So I said, oh, well, that's what I'm going to try. So I made a space in my garage. I put a window in, and in the spring, I'm going to get some more bees and try again, because we really need the bees. There's no doubt about it. And a lot of things are impacting the bees. So now I'm going to take these dry pecans, a cup and a half of them. I'm going to put them into this little sauce that I made. And then I'm going to toss it together.
So for everyone who's watching, you can use the agave or coconut nectar or maple syrup instead of the honey.
Or you could just soak raisins in water and blend them.
Or use a date paste as well.
Or use a date paste. But I like raisins better. Like, you can soak raisins in water, and it gets if you soak it in just a little water, it gets kind of thick. And then and it adds to the flavor of it because this already has dates in it. So I think the raisins would be give it a little better flavor. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate the top with the pecans.
So Debbie Bouillon says 120 degrees in an oven can be used to dehydrate. Correct, Debbie, although it's still not the same conditions. And you've got to be also be careful that you don't overheat it beforehand. Most ovens, you've got to preheat them. And then you've got to make sure that you turn the whatever it is you're
Right.
dehydrating.
I would think that instead of doing that, just this doesn't have to be like this. It can be soft and put the pecans on top, and it'll be fine.
Also, you can also put it in the sun, especially if you have very strong sun.
If you're in California, you can put it in the sun. We've got no sun right now. 35 degrees here. But what you could do is you could wait a minute. Oh, if you're going to put it in the sun, you have to Did you hear that snoring? That was my son fell asleep. Anyway, you could, if you do put it in the sun out in California, put a screen over it because you don't want the bugs to get on it.
Especially in Florida. Florida, there'll be insects and all over it.
Sure. Yeah, so you don't want that.
There are mesh covers that you can use for that. There are a lot of people that used in the raw food movement when we were, Rio, you and I were very active at the beginning of the raw food movement here in the United States. There were a lot of people who did sun dry their foods and end up losing it because other critters would come along and say, well, thank you very much.
No, you definitely have to cover it with something. Now, if you do have a dehydrator, they have those mesh screens. So I use that sometimes. Just, the mesh screen that comes with it.
Yes. Yeah, and that's what I would recommend, Debbie, for the oven, is to make sure you get the mesh screen because otherwise it doesn't get through into the actual essence of it, into the middle of the food. So you've got to be careful with that when you use the oven. But, as long as you use that, Debbie, there should be no problems whatsoever. And Debbie, right now there are some companies who are making ovens and dehydrators together.
Really? Oh, yes. I didn't hear about that.
I have one. Yes, and I have one because I don't have an oven at all nor a stove. I never have had one. But when friends or family come to visit in the winter, they're like, "Well, how am I supposed to heat this up?" And I don't heat anything up. So I got it for them in case we have leftovers when we go out to eat and they want to heat something up. But
what is that called? What is that called?
I'll go and have a look at it. If you just keep talking here, so I can leave and go and have a look and just tell people what you're doing. And that's
okay. So I'm really just decorating it. I mean, there's several ways you can do this, but I like the kind of the spiral way. And so I'm telling you, this pie, like sometimes when we go to relatives that are not raw, we usually make a pie and it's gone. It's gone before you know it. It's unbelievable.
So the name of the company is Oster, Oster. And I believe it's either a French company or a Canadian company. I don't remember. But Oster, and it's a combination oven and a dehydrator. Stunning.
Wow.
Rio, that would have taken me at least half an hour just to assemble the pecans. You're amazing.
Well, I don't know how I did it. Okay. And then if there's a little syrup left, just pour it over like that. Ooh.
Yum, yum.
Yum. There you go.
Yeah, let's have a real close-up of this. This is absolutely delightful, quite stunning. Beautiful job, Rio. Rio,
Okay.
your book, Hooked and Raw, is
Uh-huh.
actually extremely one of the, in my opinion, it's one of the books that everyone should have as a basic part of their own kitchen equipment because you've
Uh-huh.
got the most amazing recipes in there. And I know that you're giving a discount today on the book. Yes, show us the book, please, and let us know about the discount.
Okay, so if you email me that you've seen this show, um, I'm going to give you a $10 discount. It's a $30 book, so you'll get $10 off. You go to my website, which I think Doreet is going to put the link to the book, and
It's
then
already there.
it's
Not the link to
there.
the book, but your email address is there.
Okay, so find the book on on the shopping, and then if you email me that you saw the show, $10 off. I'll just order it at the regular price, but you'll get the discount as long as I have your email.
Wonderful. Wonderful. This is beautiful. So this was very quick. How long did it take you to prep everything? Around how long? How long? Because I know you did 3 pies, but how long did it take you to prep? Around.
Um, Maybe an hour, a little over an hour.
And Ria, what's your favorite recipe in that book, Hooked on Raw?
Oh my goodness, I have so many. Um, and also the other thing is I'm doing a new book which is going to come out next year, so my recipes are all tangled up in my head because I can't remember, are they my old recipes or are they my new recipes?
Oh, I understand that. I've got 2 recipe books and I'm writing a third, so I understand that.
That's wonderful. That's, we need all of them that we can get. You know, some publishers have said, "Why do we need more?" You know, cooked food recipe books come out by the thousands, right? So we should be doing that too with our raw food. Now, if you go to my website, there is a free ebook on there. It has about 30 of my new recipes, and so you just join my mailing list, and the what is it will come up a, a pop-up will come up and join my mailing list, and then you can download that little ebook, and it has pictures. We just did it this year.
Now, Rio, you actually bought a farm and you've become a farmer. Tell
Yes,
us
well,
about
trying
what's
trying to become a farmer. I wouldn't say that I'm just learning. I'm on a learning curve, but I love it. I really do love it. And I think it's a way to, you know, I have a way to teach people here on the farm. I can teach them how to grow in the ground, how to grow in raised beds, and how to grow in hugelkulturs. I don't know if you've ever heard of a hugelkultur.
No, I don't know, but I'm sure you can explain it.
It's a way to use all the debris on your farm. Like if the tree falls, you can use that and build up um, this mound with all your debris, and then you put soil and compost in there, and then you plant on top of that. And it's a wonderful method. Actually, I learned it about 4 years ago when a volunteer came, and he was an experienced gardener, and he's the one that built the first one, and he taught me. Well, actually, he taught me, but I had already done something similar because when I cleared the land for the farm, I didn't have enough money to take out the stumps. So where the stumps were, I was putting a lot of soil on top and then growing on top of that. So I had done a little mini hugelkultur already, but he showed me that it was an actual thing, which I didn't know.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. You are always so ahead of the curve, and you were ahead of the curve with genetically modified organisms way before other people were trying to stop them. And
Right.
unfortunately, people did not hear your message enough, and I'm so sorry about that. But we will
Right.
definitely have you come back on again. And there's so much that you do, and that you know that really you are like a fountain of knowledge. And Rio, I bow
Thank
to you. I
you.
commend you. I commend you
Thank
because
you.
one of the things I like most about you is that your knowledge just keeps expanding and expanding, and it never seems to stop, and it never seems to ever come to the place where, oh, that's enough. No, you just keep going and going and going, and I am
Well,
so
that's
happy.
that's the way life is. I mean, life is a school, right? And
Yes.
so the more you learn, actually, when I was a teenager, I knew it all. I knew it all, and as I started living my life, that's when I found out, hey, I don't know anything. So the thing is to live your life and just keep expanding, keep expanding, keep expanding your knowledge. I don't understand people that get bored with life because life is so incredible, and there's so many aspects of it.
This is one of the things you and I have in common, that we never understand how other people get bored, because we always have way too much going on
That's true. That's
and
true.
why people get bored. I want to thank you so much for being on today. We will definitely have you back
Thank
on
you.
again. And
Thank
I
you.
so look forward to the next time you're here. Can you bring the pie so we can see it, please?
Sure. Do you want me to cut a piece?
Oh, it would be delightful. Yes, please, so
Do we
everyone
have
can see what
time?
it looks like cut.
Do we have
Yes, go right
time?
ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So,
It's fitting that you have the strawberry in the middle, as to remind people that there's also strawberry. This is like a pecan strawberry banana pie.
right. But it could
So,
be it could be blueberry. It could be, like you said, apples and pears at certain times of the year. It could be whatever you want.
ooh, let's have a close up of this now, Lee. Oh,
Lee,
yum, yum, yum.
should we have Lee take a bite?
Yeah, absolutely,
Come
absolutely.
on, Lee.
Let's have somebody give us their opinion, what they think about this. And there's your dehydrator in the background to the left.
Is this
Go
all I?
ahead, Lee. Just go right ahead and bite into it and let us know what you think. And tell us the truth, please, Lee.
I'm too busy chewing. Great, absolutely fabulous.
This is
Thank you for being the cameraman, Lee.
Okay.
well, all my
Okay.
gratitude to you. To you, keep eating it. Keep eating it. Thank you so much, everyone. Tune in next week for Bobby Umar, who is going to be talking about lifelong food issues and struggles, which is one of my main themes for this month and next month. And Inc. magazine named him one of the top leadership speakers, along with Richard Branson and quite a few others. He is quite remarkable. So spread the word and make sure you tune in. Please stay right there, Rio. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today.